Anyway, guys, Grimsy wants me to watch this video about Nattie Forsyth from Lanza. So let's do it.
Forsyth, aka Scrims, Nattie Forsyth, aka Scrimzox, aka Natigska, aka Nathrix, aka whatever the name she decides
Why do they have so many names? What's going on there? It's like Voldemort.
to change to after this video drops, is a Roblox YouTuber based
Voldemort, Tom Riddle, he who shall not be named. Boom, that's 3 at least.
in the UK with a very shady past, to put it bluntly. She's been caught doing multiple awful things within the Roblox community.
Oh man, the Roblox community. That's already a red flag.
And given that it's full of a bunch of children that don't understand the severity of what she's done, she's gotten away with it so far. That is until now, as we'll go through this person and their entire
That's a girl? All right. Sorry, I'm not transphobic.
internet history and see what's up with them. Shout out to the Patreon members, and if you'd like to support the channel, you can check out the link below. Now let's see what's in store together, because let me tell you, it's astounding the kind of stuff they've done has gone so under the radar. Now before Nat was known under her current name, she was known as Nathrix, and for a while got relatively popular in the Roblox community in a short time. The content was pretty expected, mainly just Roblox related stuff, but sometimes there'd be a different style vid, like this Juice WRLD one for example. They would say in that vid that they couldn't turn off ads despite this being an outright lie, and this is a prime example of the type of person we're dealing with.
Well, I don't care about that. They put ads on the video. Listen, if I talked about a controversial topic, I will always put ads on it, because that's my job. I'm not talking about topics for the money. But you know, I there's like who cares? I don't care about that.
One day though, the channel stopped uploading, and in its place, the Scrimzox channel was born. The proof they're the same person is that the PO boxes are basically the same.
They're a little different, but they're very similar.
And Nat uploaded a video in which they directly let everyone know that they are Nathrix.
Why do I look and sound like Nathrix? Well, I'm going to share with you some information right now that may upset or shock you. I'm Nathrix.
Their past as Nathrix is full of a lot of weird stuff, like constantly posting NSFW Roblox images both on Discord and Twitter. And
Okay.
funnily enough, when called out for it by fellow Roblox YouTuber Kaneko Kid,
Lord.
they would say that their content isn't kid-friendly, you know, despite being a Roblox YouTuber, and then would try to manipulate the narrative and say that him messaging them on Twitter is sending minors their way, trying to make Kaneko the bad guy. Mind you, this person was 18 at the time this was all going down, meaning we have an adult posting NSFW Roblox images on Discord and on Twitter for the child audience to see.
Oh yeah, you should definitely not do that.
At one point in time, they would say a lot of what they do is playing a character and just satire, bro.
Well, they're probably just a dumb fucking edgy person so far.
Trying to feign any responsibility for their
Yeah, you shouldn't really. I mean, Discord, you should be very careful with in general. There are a lot of young people on there, and you should be very careful about whatever you're posting on there.
actions. Nat was known on Discord for being a creep, such as spamming W's and then sending a thankfully blacked out unsolicited picture to someone. And they would
Okay, how old was the person?
make a thinly veiled threat about how they could get sued for slander and whatnot. You know, just a pretty normal interaction. I would try to figure out what this was, and while I couldn't find a specific reason to this example, I did find a tweet of someone referencing them sending a rather graphic image to a group of minors, and so I started digging some more.
What is that? What did I just pick? Oh,
Lo and behold, I found a screen recording of when she sent a Discord server full of minors a video that involves a sewing machine and a certain male body part, with
was it their own, or was it supposed to be like 2 girls, 1 cup edgy?
Nat deflecting any criticism and manipulating the conversation, saying that people under 13 shouldn't be allowed in Discord when people tell them what they did was messed up.
I'm going to post a cool video
That's the
into
only
the
problem.
chat. I'm going to post a cool video in the chat, guys. You should watch it.
Okay.
It involves
sure will.
sewing. It involves sewing.
Oh yeah, it sounds like it's their attempt to be like a super edgy fucking weirdo. Okay.
I shall roll.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that.
No.
Yeah, we're just.
I don't know if that's
It's not my taste.
I don't know. I mean, I do know there's 13-year-olds in here and younger.
I mean, if it's younger, then you should ban them, and you're going to get banned if you keep them in the server, so.
I mean, it's not my sub.
Like, be honest. They
Yeah,
need to ban
Oh,
anyone.
there goes Arnie.
Well, you could just not post the super edgy porn that you're, you know what I mean? I said 2 girls, 1 cup because that's what that is, like edgy porn. Okay. All right. As you get older, you do learn to appreciate it for its very fine artistic contributions, though. I don't think that was like predatory. That's somebody, dude, that clearly is struggling socially. I'll say that. Okay.
You know, I'm the owner of.
Yeah, I'm just.
Ooh.
I would have banned that person from the
Who
server
deleted
at
my
that
cool
point.
video?
Now, Nat has been in 2 separate controversies with 2 different girls, that being
Okay.
Chloe and Cindy. Chloe
Okay.
was 16 and Nat was 18 at the time,
Then I don't care.
and that situation has to do with these posts made in a Discord server.
She was 16, he was 18. I don't care.
As you can tell, they're pretty tasteless and crude, but given Nat only recently turned 18 as they were born on June 25th, 2000, in this case, they're just really bad and tasteless jokes and nothing exactly nefarious going on here, despite all the other weird stuff they've been doing. Now, Cindy was also 16 when Nat was 19, and their situation went down in 2019
Yeah, not that bothered by that either. 16, 19, a little weird, but, you know, generally protected.
between the
You know, not as big of a deal. 16, 19, you know.
2 of them
Like, if I had a son, I wouldn't let him date a 16-year-old at 19. If I had a daughter, I wouldn't let her date a 19-year-old at 16. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't see anything predatory about that age range.
Based off of this screenshot when they talked about it on Twitter. In a now deleted response video back when all this went down, Nat was sure to admit to sending an image to Cine, which is none too surprising given how much we learned about this person so far.
So I did do a bit of research, and sexting under the age of 18, like sending images, is illegal. Now she's almost 17, I don't know if that makes any difference whatsoever. I myself am 19, my birthday's in June, and in the Dropbox provided by Little Stray, you can see my dick.
Nat would go on to say that Cine sent 2 images as well, explaining that he asked for one in particular.
So I sent that because she sent me 2 images of herself. One image of her wearing Nattie Forsyth merch whilst in underwear and fishnets, and I didn't specify for her to wear those, but I did ask for that picture.
The rest of the video paints Cine
So there are people sexting. Like, you know, it is illegal if they got arrested. Whatever, if he got arrested, I don't care about that. But they wouldn't call it
as some
predatory.
annoying weirdo that just sends flirtatious messages out of nowhere. Basically trying to set her up as the bad guy while
All right, I'm gonna time you out. You have to stop talking about 16-year-olds and 25-year-olds getting together. It's super fucking weird. And I don't feel like specifically talking about it. But, like, no, a 16-year-old is not mature enough to interact with a 25-year-old, okay? It doesn't matter if there might be some 16-year-olds that are more mature and some 25-year-olds that are less mature. Like, what you're saying is the weirdest take I've ever seen.
also trying to downplay what they did because she was only 16, trying to convince the viewer they did nothing wrong. It's really hard to explain on its own, so let me just play out the clips for y'all.
She like went through the chat and like wiped all images because she was sending me a lot of stuff. Like it would be out of nowhere, she would just send like a picture of her ass, none of it being nude. And after getting all this from her, I sent my dick because I felt like I should send something. This is where I asked for that image that I mentioned earlier. Now the first thing that I say in that block right under where she says what uwu is completely okay because again she's 16. But again, like what she sent me wasn't nude. And then I was asking one of her ass in the uniform because I got one in the merch like I said.
The video ends off with Nat saying that Cine got her own issues going on, like constantly begging for attention either through annoyance or self-harm images, and eventually the two of them arguing after Cine told everyone about their dynamic. Now what's strange is that on December 21st, 2021, this controversy would be brought to light once more and Nat would again respond to it, but this time the story sounds different than in the deleted video we just went over, painting Cine as if she was just sending pics and stuff to them for no reason, when as we've seen, Nat admitted to asking for the picture in question.
Sticking to her. But essentially she would like send me like moaning audio just randomly, like wanting me to send stuff back. She had a Nattie Forsyth shirt on and she was wearing fishnets with underwear and she sent me a picture and it was like really fucking dark. I could barely make out what was in the image. And then after about 5 seconds she removed. So I sent that because she sent me 2 images of herself. One image of her wearing Nattie Forsyth merch whilst in underwear and fishnets, and I didn't specify for her to wear those, but I did ask for that picture.
Nat then says that the UK police got involved and destroyed their hard drive after going through the entire mess and concluding there was insufficient evidence to convict them of anything, and even
Oh, the UK is historically not great at convicting these kinds of things. But again, at the same time, we're dealing with a 16 and 19-year-old. Like, I'm not shitting over it.
said they were 1 year apart, which is another bold-faced lie, and say it all nonchalant like they literally didn't have something the police feared was cheese pizza on their hands.
However, I was told by officers that this was basically cached on my hard drive in the Discord cache, and that is why the hard drive was destroyed, because even though that wasn't enough for like any kind of conviction or anything like that, and I mean like we were literally like fucking 1 year apart, they still wanted to destroy the hard drive because, you know, like you can probably recover that using several tools.
That makes sense to me, sure.
After like the 8 months of them investigating the situation, having, you know, had my laptop and phone, the new phone I had taken away, I got both of them back, but the hard drive of the laptop was destroyed.
Now it's worth pointing out that Cine ended up saying to Nat they told everyone all this for attention and apologized, but still, at the same time, Nat was 19 asking for images from a 16-year-old, and given their past of creepy behavior like this, it doesn't help their case at all. And that's not mentioning again the police destroyed their hard drive in fear what was on it.
Well, it's not a fear what's on it. So, like, let's say 2 16-year-olds are sending each other images. It's, like, morally fine. But if they have hard images, it's still child porn. So you should destroy that. You shouldn't be saving images like that. Again, I don't think that what he's doing is like morally horrible or reprehensible. You could disagree with it. Be like, I don't like that, but it's not something that makes him a predator. So far, they are... I want to ask like a real question that I don't know. Is this person like fucking autistic? I don't mean this in like a rude way, but I don't know. They seem to like not understand what the fuck's going on with shit. Maybe I'm just being ableist, so sorry. Yeah, okay.
To sum everything up so far, Nat is basically a
They seem to struggle, like, when it comes to fucking with people. I mean, sending, like, some weird, like, sewing a penis porn or something. That's bizarre.
degenerate person who has a history of sending images of themselves to people, both underage and as an adult, as well as the Discord sewing video and other stuff. To give a little bit of the
That one's, like, weird. But
benefit of the doubt, the age of consent in the UK is 16, and both girls were 16 years old, so while the flirting is technically not illegal, it was definitely creepy.
well, I feel like I was told that they were autistic in, like, another video. That's why I'm asking that question.
especially when you see this as a pattern of behavior from Nat. The images are definitely illegal though, as anything under 18 is considered cheese pizza in the UK, and they were sending images to an underage person, so take that however you will. Overall, everything so far is on the slightly tamer side of things. Just some awful judgment, awful explanations, and some lies to dig through. Basically, nothing exactly groundbreaking on this channel. That is, until a third situation happened with someone named Craze, and one that really ramps everything up a notch. In January 2019, when Nat was 18 years old, they're in a Discord group chat one can only describe as a hellhole. A person named Craze was added to the chat, and within a small amount of time, Nat got a hold of her Snapchat account and started sending messages to her in what they describe as jokes, but I'll let you be the judge of that. The first is this image right here begging for her attention, and the next is an obvious innuendo with the fingers and the tongue going on, and Nat would even send 2 audio clips to Craze as well.
Crazy, please just send me a picture. It'll take a second, please.
How old was this person? How old? Were they 13, they said?
Described as a hellhole. A person named Craze was added. A situation happened with some lies to dig through. Basically, nothing exactly groundbreaking on this channel. That is, until a third situation happened with someone named Craze, and one that really ramps everything up a notch. In January 2019, when Nat was 18 years old, they're in a Discord group chat one can only describe as a hellhole. A person named Craze was added to the chat, and within a small amount of time, Nat got a hold of her Snapchat account and started sending messages to her in what they describe as jokes.
How old is the girl? Did he mention it? Am I just stupid?
But I'll let you be the judge of that. The first
How old was the girl? Like, did he say it and I just missed it?
is this image right here begging for her attention, and the next is an obvious innuendo with the fingers and the tongue going on, and Nat would even send 2 audio clips to Craze as well.
Crazy, please.
Thank you for 2 months, Raquel. No, you don't have to be sorry. I know they go a little crazy sometimes. How old is this person?
Please just send me a picture.
Can somebody tell me if they said the age of this person yet?
It'll take a second, please. Thank you. Fuck me.
It's pretty easy to tell that Nat is interested in Craze, and it's not a joke like they've been trying to say, but here's where things get interesting. Nat hasn't
I'm sure he was jokingly asking for pictures. It's like a tester where it's like, I'm just making sexual jokes to see if they're open to
asked
it.
the age of Craze during all
And by the way, it just doesn't play like sorry, your alert's not going to play. For some reason, Stream Elements is like messed up on resubs. I'm sorry.
this. That means Nat cared so little about themselves and the person they were talking to, they didn't even think to ask if they were underage or not before sending all that stuff her way.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, this is like, just guy's an idiot, or person is an idiot for not asking age. But if they didn't know, like, I'm not gonna shit on them. But that's really stupid still.
In the Discord group chat, people start to guess the age of Craze, and Nat would guess 14, meaning that they, at 18 years old, thought they were messaging a 14-year-old the whole time.
Yeah, kind of gross. But again, within that 4-year age gap, so I wouldn't call that predatory. I would call that inappropriate, which I think is a very important difference to make.
It turns out Craze was allegedly 12 years old, but given I can't find any evidence of this, we'll just fall back on 14. Along
Well, then we just don't know the name of the age of the person.
with this were allegations of them sending a pic of themselves to her, and so when questioned about this by what sounds to be underage friends from that very group chat, this is what Nat had to say.
About, I don't know, but I've been told that, you've apparently, sent nudes. That's because, I don't know, but...
Sent like a dick from Google, because, I mean, I kind of hope he does make a video, because that's free content for me, but fuck.
Free content, really, bro?
Wait,
That's
I know, but, why would you
Content,
send
what an idiot.
dick pic from Google to someone you probably
Minor.
knew that was a minor, yeah.
What the fuck do you mean, probably knew?
I mean, you guessed her age, I guess, but you said that apparently...
No, I guessed 14, I guessed incorrectly.
That's still fucked up, though.
Yeah, you pretty much, you kind of,
How
in your
so?
mind, you thought she was 15.
Because you're 18.
No, I said 14 because everyone else was guessing close to 14, so I said the only number that everyone else didn't say. Like, we were all guessing random numbers.
That's right,
Are they guessing before or after? Either way, it's inappropriate. I wouldn't call it predatory. This guy's a person is a fucking moron.
of all the instances I've shown you guys so far, Nat says in this case it was a pic from Google, and then says they were basically joking when they guessed Craze was 14. I'm gonna call bullshit on this one because 1, they've been showing pics of themselves recklessly and we're supposed to believe this one time it was just an image from Google to a minor, and 2, saying it's a joke to guess someone's age is simply unbelievable. Given Nat is a known liar and manipulator as seen by the Juice WRLD and Kaneko Kitten conversations, I
What? What is the Juice WRLD thing?
don't believe any of their excuses.
Well, definitely 100% bad that you're showing their audience. What? Why is it bad? I find it extremely funny how you're trying to blame at the end that sentence saying how it's how worried I am about discussing popular figure in Roblox community. I have no idea what they're talking about here. I haven't seen anything that makes this person manipulative. They're just a fucking idiot so far. What I've seen.
That's not to mention again, they didn't even ask the age of Craze before doing all this, and given we've seen them do this degenerate
Well, they
stuff
definitely should
constantly,
have.
it's not even reckless anymore. It's downright predatory. Nat would
I disagree with that. It's incredibly dumb and reckless.
drop another now deleted video titled I'm Sorry, in which they don't really say much at all and tries to make the viewer feel sorry for them saying they got doxxed when there's literally no proof of this at all.
But one thing I do know is that my address is not public, so is my name, so is my family's names, so is everything that's personal to me, and I'm still being sent pictures as I speak of me with my family on Discord, but from what I've been told, they went to a pretty, infamous exploiter, someone that makes exploits, and using his skills of what he knows, he was able to find every single part of my like personal like information.
The whole video is literally just a black screen, and again, given Nat's a known liar and manipulator,
Hey, maybe he's an avid supporter of Black Lives Matter. You know, you don't know.
I don't believe any of their claims without solid evidence, in which they provide literally none. They also mention freedom of speech and try to downplay asking a minor for pics as a joke, and trust me, we'll get back to that point in a bit.
I also still kind of see the side of it was just a fucking joke. Like, freedom of speech, like you can joke about so much.
A Roblox YouTuber
Okay.
named Epic Rika would cover this situation on their channel in a now deleted video, and so Nat would respond to that in another now deleted video as well. Nat says they made the video to defend free speech, still trying to say it was all just a joke. Just take a listen to all this delusion going on.
The reason for making this video, or at least the main reason, is to defend free speech. If I simply let this go like everyone's telling me to, in future if someone else makes an edgy joke,
You really should just let it go. You made a mistake, and you should just be better. You know, ask ages and like just talk to people that are more grown. Obviously, I still think it's wrong for you if you thought somebody was 14 to talk to them at 18. I don't think that you're a predator. I think that there needs to be better restrictions on like age gaps and shit. But you know, you still should be acting better. Just take the L and move on. I understand it can be toxic online, but you know.
here to be taken very seriously, and they will use my case as an example against them.
A lot of the video is Nat constantly trying to downplay what they did as just a joke, and then tell a story how they found out about Craze's age, funnily enough now saying they thought she was 16, and the excuses they say are honestly astounding to listen to.
It was all in a joking context, it was all satire, none of it was serious. The images again, it was just a more serious version of the messages, and I still had no idea of the age of the person at the time. The only time I found out the age actually was when I was in a group chat with a few people. Pink Cat was in the group, and I think it was Pink Cat that said, guys, so guess our age. And everyone was saying 12, 13, 15, 11, but the one number people didn't say was 14, so I said 14. And the reason for that was because, obviously the second he says, okay guys, guess her age, I was pretty much like, oh shit, maybe she isn't over 16 because 16 is the age of consent by the way in the UK, you can have sex at 16. And I assumed she was at least 16 or over that, so I was okay with being my fucked up self and making those jokes. And of course me saying 14 didn't help.
I mean, you could probably analyze that and say that like that's not a factor to him, the age of somebody, when it comes to making jokes, because before he sent like a fucking sewing your penis video as I would assume as a joke, and then when you're like, yo, there's 13-year-olds in here, he's like, who cares? So you know, it's very clear that like that's not really true, right? I mean, you seem to be comfortable, unless this was later and they learned their lesson. You seem to be comfortable making like edgy jokes with people that are too young, which is dumb. Okay, this we're talking about like a fucking 18-year-old idiot on terminally online kid. Still dumb, it's still wrong. I wouldn't call them a predator, but let's just keep that in mind. It sounds like they're just grasping at any excuse because they fucked up and they don't want people to think that they're a bad person. And they're probably not a bad person. I mean, maybe they are, but from what I've seen, it doesn't make them bad. It makes them stupid. But you know,
Help me apparently because
he's from the UK too, so that's a mental disorder in itself.
they thought, oh yeah, you just assumed that she was 14 this whole time and you knew? Her actual age is 12, apparently.
They then say exactly what they've been doing and try to
Is her age actually 12? Well, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have been fucking. You have to start asking age.
deflect it. That being they say and do nasty things and they say it's all
If it happens like again, then it becomes a problem. If like after this lesson is learned of like ask the person's age, if you don't ask age moving forward, then you're like a real stupid fuck.
a joke to avoid accountability and say they regret nothing.
But at the end of the day, they were jokes, and that's all there is to say, really. And for the people saying, oh, you're just saying that because then you can say weird
You get a pass, just like James Shaw's got one pass. Okay, now start asking age. Okay.
shit to minors and get away with it by saying it's a joke. Keep in mind, I didn't know the age until after all this shit happened, like I sent those pictures. One of them being me with my tongue, and the other being a dick from Google. If I had known the age, I obviously wouldn't have joked around like this. And I have absolutely no regrets in making these jokes.
You should. Why? Just be like, yeah, I wish I didn't make them. They were inappropriate. That would have probably been better. You should have some regrets, or else you're not going to learn.
I am not sorry for making these jokes, and will continue to do so. The only thing I'm sorry for, and the only reason that I'm quite mad at myself and have regrets, is because I didn't check the age first, I had no idea, and because I trusted someone brand new to the group and just acted like normal.
The fact she just placed the blame on a minor saying they shouldn't have trusted her is fucking insane. This person is an actual lying manipulative loser. The rest of the video
Yeah, probably lying. Manipulative, probably not. Again, this comes off as like this big cope. Like, just take some accountability. You get fucked up and move on. And stop talking about this topic. Like, you're, you know.
is reacting to Epic Rika's one, but we don't need to go any further because we already know Nat is a degenerate scumbag. In that video where Nat talked about Cine again, they also talk about Craze again, and it's nothing you haven't heard before, as Nat tries to downplay everything as just a joke and whatnot like we've been seeing. The only
Why are
things
you
that
still
caught my
talking
interest was
about it?
them saying they asked for images semi-ironically, which implies that Nat really did want images from what they believed was a 14-year-old, and that Craze told them they were 12 instead of 14 after everything went down.
Dumb fucking, like, idea everyone had that I was at, like, ask her for nudes and shit. I even asked in voice notes, like, oh, come on, it will only take 1 second. Like, I was asking semi-ironically ironically. But yeah, I wouldn't have complained if I had got the nudes, because I assume this person wasn't, you know, really fucking underage. Just her age could have been incorrect, because like, in this group chat, this very dumb, edgy group chat, jokes of all kinds were being made, and pedo jokes are being made. Yeah, literally about the fucking person that just happened to be underage, like, genuinely underage.
It's also worth mentioning that the Craze situation happened before the Cine one, meaning that even after this, plus the past of sending nasty stuff to people, Nat still somehow ended up in a situation with Cine and sending pics to her, showing that they barely learned any lesson on how to go about the internet, and only simmered down once they stopped using the Nathrix channel and moved on to Scrimzox. Nat has recently had to respond to her shady past being brought to light once more after YouTuber Achito brought them up after it was discovered YouTuber Jalen is friends with Nat. While the video is nothing new, Nat and Jalen would have an argument with each other over other matters, Jalen would have another cycle and start to berate Nat, and interestingly enough was planning to fly Nat out to meet them IRL despite their extremely awful past.
Their past isn't extremely awful. I mean, I just don't... Listen, I'm not trying to be rude. God bless you for thinking that what this person did was extremely awful. It's inappropriate and it's immature. It's not predatory. It's not extremely awful. But like, there are some truly extremely awful things that happen in the world. This person is a dumb fucking young person that needs to stop fucking around and making mistakes. Like, there's no predatory intent here. Like, this isn't extremely awful. This is sensationalized. I know we talk about how sensitive people are, like on the left a lot. Crying over this is one of those times where like you're being very sensitive. This is extremely awful. Like, we have to have a little more nuance when people make mistakes, or else when you make a mistake, people are gonna like just destroy you because you set the bar so low for like what a mistake is. It's just they're not good, but they're not extremely awful. Like, we got to take a breath and like, you know, people fuck up, people make mistakes, intentions matter. I don't think this person's intention was to be predatory in any capacity. I think it's important to like operate within that capacity. Okay.
They've since made up and most of the leaked DMs are deleted, but still, now that we've seen Jalen is involved, it seems things are heading in a familiar direction. It turns out Jalen has defended Nat before, as in the thumbnail on a video posted on December 24th, 2021 by YouTuber Grimsy, Jalen has already said they're innocent to them. She's not the focus of this video though, so we'll save that for part 3 of the Jaden cycle. Nattie Forsyth is a person with an extremely shady past one can only describe as utterly insane. From a constant pattern of sending NSFW stuff to minors, getting so bad the UK police got involved and destroyed their hard drive, it's no wonder this person has an issue when people bring this up. For example, when I teased the Jaden cycle part 3 on my Twitter, they would post and delete a message getting defensive about me mentioning their past. I personally wouldn't trust
let's see what their past what it says.
Part 3 on my Twitter, they would post
Good. I was investigated and the case was dropped. I spent my last nearly 5 years repeating my story, and I've been attacked in real life over this. It affects me greatly every day. What the fuck do you want? Yeah, well, it seems like nobody wants to let this situation go. That's how the internet works. Nobody wants to let anything go, you know. So I get why they're upset, but they should try not to respond anymore to it because it's not really productive for them.
And delete a message getting defensive about me mentioning their past. I personally wouldn't trust their word too much, as even recently as 4 months ago, they would get in a weird leaked convo where it seems she straight up lied to somebody about the Snapchat message.
Okay, let's see what this message says. Was that not sexting? I didn't deny this. Asking for news is sexting. No, it isn't. Sending news is. Okay, asking is sexting. But literally added Craze and Snapchat before you sexted. There was somebody who was 14 and then changed to being 12, got added. Things were sent to the group chat. What about the sending messages? We didn't LOL. Otherwise, that would have been okay. Cool. It's just the same thing we've already been rehashing.
And such, and derailed the conversation into semantics rather than the topic at hand. All the info surrounding their name is bungled up, messy, and all over the place, so hopefully this video makes things easier for you guys to understand. One thing's for sure, Nat definitely has a past of being an extremely disgusting person, and they're a freak whose word cannot be trusted.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really learn anything new about this Nat person. Pretty much what I thought before. The first two people are just like people like 2 years younger than them. I don't care about that. Most of it centralizes around like this one instance where he was talking to, I guess, I don't even know how old the girl is. Was she actually 12 or 14? Talked to a girl without verifying their age and hit on them a little bit. You need to stop fucking around and make sure you ask age and like, you know, chill the fuck out. Wouldn't call this person like a predator. Like, we have to relax a little bit. I don't want some of the language that we use.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.